welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. My name is Sharon Enemchuku. Joining me live in the studio, as always, I have with me the beautiful Ifoma Oji. Good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, Sharon.
How are you doing?
I am there.
Oh,
living my best life.
Living your best life. Shouldn't we
Definitely.
all? Shouldn't
I
we
mean.
all? All right, and I hope that the Nigerian politicians can take that cue and give us a better life. Moving on to the stories that we have for today, former Senator Shehu Sani, has stirred nationwide conversation by asserting that a secondary school certificate is sufficient qualification for holding political office in Nigeria. Now, in related developments, Labour Party's presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, Mr. Peter Obi, has weighed in on the ongoing controversy surrounding a minister's academic qualifications. Obi has called for the immediate prosecution of any official found guilty of certificate forgery. Meanwhile, in Akwa Ibom State, Governor Umo Eno has denied any involvement in the reported withdrawal of security details from his predecessor, Udom Emmanuel. The move, which sparked concerns about possible political tension in the state, has been dismissed by Eno as administrative and not personal. He insisted that no directive came from his office, urging the public not to misinterpret routine security reviews. Now, these are the stories that we are going to be talking about today, and we're starting first of all with the statement, that Shehu Sani came out to say, Ifoma, and, although it is constitutionally right, but according to our constitution, it says the least academic qualification is the secondary school certificate. But I'm asking, do you think that there is a reason why Shehu Sani made this particular comment now?
Yeah, I think he's basically saying that, there is no need for you to falsify or forge your certificate. That the law allows that. Allows you to contest with just your secondary school certificate. So there is no need to falsify anything. So I think that is basically
what he's saying,
trying to say here.
You don't think that he is trying to downplay the need for, the kind of complex political environment that we have, and saying that just having a secondary school certificate is going to be enough to hold a political office in such political climax that we have now?
Okay. The first question, I believe I've cleared it. Then as regards to the second question, it does not mean that I support what he said. The only place I support is the fact that he said that no need to falsify your certificate. But where I am not buying his statement is where he says something about that it's more like your secondary school certificate is sufficient for you to vie for position. See, there is a difference between, what the Constitution allows and what the public should expect from leaders. You understand? And you can't tell me that somebody that has a secondary school certificate, it's more like is qualified enough to actually run in office, because governance has to do with a lot of things. It involves a lot of training, diplomacy, a lot of things, tech. So you cannot tell me that it should end in secondary school. It's more like you are trying to devalue the educational system. You're trying to demoralize people that still value education, or people that
want
still,
to further.
Yes, that still have plans of furthering their education, which for me is misleading.
It is. It does sound misleading when he comes out to put it like that, although he might argue that that was not the point he was trying to drive home. But now, do you think that, because truly, like I said earlier, this is what is in our constitution, that the least qualification, academic qualification, is a secondary school certificate. Do you think that Nigeria now should revisit the constitutional requirement for political office?
I think the constitution states at least. At least. So, but I think, yes, there should be some level of amendment, because this, it's more like, if you have, so long as you have a secondary school certificate, you can become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which a lot of people have attained so many degrees. Why is it that they cannot contest for that position? It's more like when you measure the intelligence of these people,
yes,
the people that have attained, you know, academic qualifications, and somebody that just finished in secondary school, you will see that it does not match. You could see that the other person is here, the other person is here. So what are we promoting? Exactly. So I think at the end of the day, it needs to be revisited. Maybe add other distinct qualifications to that, so that people will see that, oh, it's not just about you know, having money. It has to do with intellect.
Yes.
You understand? What are your qualifications? Do you have degrees? What, I mean, do you have any maybe leadership training? Have you traveled? Have you, I mean,
been exposed
to leadership and the rest of them? So it should equally be based on experience, like I mentioned earlier, not just secondary school certificate.
You know, like, if I'm hearing you clearly, I think what you're suggesting is that the public sector also takes a note from the private sector and how they conduct their administration and how they manage affairs. Because if you're running for the position of CEO, I am telling you, your senior secondary school certificate is not going to cut it for you. So I think that's what you're saying. Now, I'm just saying now, but trying to be, because this is just because of what has happened, that is the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, in person of Minister Uche Nnaji. Now, for a complex position such as Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, do you think, are there any dangers with being underqualified for this position yet being minister?
Yes, it's more like a blind man leading both the deaf, the dumb and the intelligent. You understand? How can you lead when you're not exposed, not just politically, but I mean leadership skills? You need to have some level of skill, not just leadership, but at least you need to be exposed to, you know, if it is in mass communication, they will tell you that at least you need to know a lot of, you know, professions or a lot of courses.
Yeah.
You understand? For you to maybe like communicate very well effectively with people. So it's more like you need to touch all these things. So it's more like I said earlier, you're undermining education in the system, and you're equally trying to fuel this thing like every other person that is coming up and for any position and they have just secondary school certificates. They can actually say, oh, the law permits that I can use only my secondary school certificate, so I don't think I should even be trying to go higher. And it will equally, you know, people that want to go higher too, they will tell you, since they already have secondary school, why further their education? So for me, I feel like it's not cool.
All right. All right, so we're going to move on to the next story now, and that is the reaction. So we talked about this in the morning when you know, we are addressing this particular story on how, you know, forgery and all of that. And, you know, with this particular statement that Shehu Sani made, it's also about the same person, the same situation. Now, for that particular situation, Mr. Peter Obi has come out to react to that particular turn of events. And he, in his own statement, Obi said that those who were supposed to be exemplary have become the very source of the nation's decay. He warned that when dishonest behavior is modeled by public officials, it corrodes the moral standards available to young Nigerians. And now, looking ahead to the 2027 general elections, Obi proposed that all aspirants submit academic certificates to the electoral body immediately after party primaries. So now what he's saying is, what he is proposing is that, you know, before the 2027 elections, that INEC should use this time very well to cross-check academic documents and qualifications. And he has also asked people to submit this at least 6 months before the elections and after primaries, just so that we do not have all of these things back and forth with your certificates, and that's whether it's right or it's forged and all of that. He also said, you know, when he was having his conversation with the government of Indonesia, and how forging your documents would just warrant immediate resignation from that political office. And although it is the same law that applies to Nigeria, unfortunately, it is not being carried out, because in that same constitution that Shehu Sani cited, the 1999 constitution as amended, forgery is one thing that can disqualify anybody from a political office or from running for any political office. And now that this has happened, we are yet to see what this the minister Uche Naji is going to say, and how the INEC, for instance, is going to tackle this. And I just wanted to ask now, with what Mr. P2B has said, do you think that even with the government saying they are trying to fish out people who have forged out their documents, that we are going to be able to completely purge our system, our political offices of people that have forged this document before 2027?
I don't see how possible that is going to be, because even people that are equally that are in charge of, you know, filtering those things or finding out, I mean, sorting out the people that forged theirs or the authentic ones or the rest of them, there's possibility that those people equally forged theirs to be in that position. So how can they do that? The only solution is maybe to get an independent, you know, panel that will equally investigate those people, the INEC officials that are investigating people that want to vie for position. But let me just say something quickly. I mean, you can't build, I mean, credible democracy on fake credentials. What Mr. P2B said is quite apt. And the more we let this linger, because this has been lingering for a very long time, the more we let it linger, the more it erodes, you know, the authority that democracy has.
Yes,
which is terrible, and it will keep on going on and on and on and on. So something definitely, I can't really agree less. Everything he said is basically on point. Something needs to be done about it.
And do you also think that also, like, past cases of forgery should be reopened now?
Yes, I think it should be. It should be. I mean, everybody that, you know, is found wanting should be prosecuted, just like what he said.
All right.
Whether you are a past governor or you're the current governor or minister, whatever position you hold in the government, once you're found guilty, you should face the full wrath of the law.
And that is what a nation who practices or holds its rule of law to the last letter should be doing. Now, you mentioned something about, you know, former governors and all of that. We are going to talk about the situation happening right now in Akwa Ibom, where former governor Udom Emmanuel has come out to complain now, or to make a public statement, that his security personnel have been withdrawn. And, you know, before that, as he made that statement, there were a lot of speculation going on and rumors that this is coming from the current administration led by Umo Eno now, and he has come out to say, his representative has come out to say that, you know, they are not involved in any of this, that it is the Inspector General of Police that is involved or in charge of making such decisions and withdrawing or either giving, you know, security agents to people. And that for other past governors, till date, they still have their security agencies. But for Udom Emmanuel, when you go to his residence, that is not the case. Now, I'm just asking, well, what exactly do you think is going on with this whole withdrawing of security agencies? And do you think that this is, you know, is politically driven? Is there any undertone that we are seeing from this? I mean, why now? Why are they withdrawing security agencies? I mean, even the IG of police is here to say anything concerning the matter.
Well, I think maybe somehow it's politically motivated, because I mean, one of them defected to APC, so maybe that could actually be what caused the whole thing. Or maybe they are having a different, you know, conflicts that the public is unaware of. You get so. But I wanted to say something. He was saying something about he is not in his directive. He's not the one in charge of deploying security operatives to the Emmanuel. I'm like, who gives the orders?
It says it's the IG of police.
Who gives the IG of police orders?
I don't. It's independent now.
It's no. He has. See, this thing, I feel like it's basically he's trying to make excuses. He's trying to cover up a lot of things. I don't know. I might be right. I might be wrong. But what I'm seeing here is, because of the fact that maybe you guys are not in good terms, you kind of retract his his political his security. There's possibility.
So are you hinting at another weekend Fubara?
kind of, but not a full-blown fight like that in Rivers State. But there is possibility, because at the end of the day, you are the governor of the state. So you have the power to actually deploy security operatives. And I mean, it's something that is more like, I will not say it's a right, but it's part of this past governors or current
yes,
governors'
it is constitutionally
yes,
their right
yes,
to have
they
security.
should have security, this, and to protect them, even though it's not needed, Sha.
Oh my goodness, he said even though it's not needed. But generally, what do you think this says about the transition of power in Nigerian political, terrain?
Okay, power, they say, is transient. I mean, you don't live with power for the rest of your life, you understand? So it's basically that same change of power, rotation of power. Your government, you've run your government and you're done with your government. So whatever changes comes, you just have to bear with it. So it's nothing much. You're no longer in control. It is another person. So whatever drum the person plays, you dance to the tune.
I like that you said that. And just to wrap it up on this particular story, we know we made a brief comparison with what is going on in Rivers State. And nobody, I don't think, see, we will wait and see how all of this unfolds. Thank you very much, Ifoma Oji, for joining me in the conversation. As always, beautiful conversation. Thank you once again. And to our viewers, we say thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments. We see that. We encourage you to keep on doing so. If you're here to follow us across all social media platforms, please endeavor to do so. Find us at Active Citizens, and you can find me on my personal page at Sharad NM Chuku. Ifoma?
You can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Miselex.
All right, till we see you tomorrow. Do have a good evening.